Welcome back. So now that we have our mechanical pencil, we can create a new project to model something else. So we of course save and then new general. Now we are going to model a gumball machine. So you can take a picture of a gumball machine. So I take this one and you can download this picture. I will put it inside of the folder for this course. So you can download this picture and we can start. We are going to put the picture here on the side so we can see it. And well, we can put it as a reference image to get the shape, the dimension, but I don't really want to put the exact dimension and everything, so I will just put it on the side here. So we can click here and then image editor, and then we can put open, get our image, so it is this one, open image, and now we have here so we can look at it. So first we have to examine all the parts. So there is one part here that looks like a cylinder. We can get a cylinder to make this part. We have this part, it is a sphere, and also we have this little part here, this part, and also we have this part and this part. Also this rectangular part, this can be another part too. So we can get the cylinder, we can get the cube here, we can get another cube here, and also another cube here. Here we can get a sphere. We have also this part. This part we can just take the sphere, duplicate and separate, or just separate so there is a hole here. So all the parts, first you had to examine your image, get all the parts, and then we can start modeling, and we have all the parts in mind to model this. First we start with the cylinder, the base. Shift A and then cylinder. We can put this a little smaller. We go on the side, numpad 1, and you see this part is smaller, this part on top. So we need to tab edit mode. We can get in X-ray to get this, or also you can just click on face select here to get this face, numpad 1, and then make it smaller. So S to scale, make it for example like this. I think it is good. And also it is this is too tall, so G Z to make it little smaller, for example like this. I think is good. And then you see this part at the bottom, we need to make this metal part and also this metal part on top here. So to do this we need to create loop cuts so we can extrude this part at the bottom. So we have this, Control R to make loop cuts. Click, we drag it down, for example here, and then we need another one here. So to make them exactly the same dimension, what we can do, we can undo Command Z like this, and then we can just make one loop cut here, and then bevel so it is two segments here and here exactly the same size. So Control R, click, exit, and then Control B to bevel and have two segments. If we scroll up you have more, if we scroll down we have this. So we are going to make it exactly the same. So now we have this. And you see, there is other part here. So we need to make them two. First, we need to get this part and this part. This part, it is extruded, so we need to extrude it. First, we need to make the segments here, the loop cuts for the different parts. So we can put the cursor here, our mouse, Control R, click, we drag it down like this, and then Control R, click, and we can make another one smaller like this. Then pad 1 to go on the side. So it looks like this. Now you see this part and this part and this part are the same extrusion, the same size here. And this is a little smaller, and then there is the big part. So we need to get this and then extrude the same, then make a little gap between them. So we need to get all of this. So we go on the side, we go on X-ray, we select all of this, and then we need to extrude E, and then we can exit, and then we can do Alt S. Well, not Alt S. S to scale, but we don't want to scale on Z. Because if we do, for example, this, you see, it is a little up because it's scaled on Z axis. We undo, and we only want to scale on X and Y. So we need to do Shift Z. So S, Shift Z. We scale it like this. And then this one, we need to extrude it a little bit. So we can get all of this. We can do E and then exit, S, Shift Z. We scale it like this. We can remove the X-ray. Now it looks like this. And now what we need to do is separate this and this with the little segment we have here. Alt, click to select all around, and then we need to make a little space and then extrude inside. So Control B to make a little gap like this, and also you can press Shift. If you wanted to make it really precise, you can press Shift, then it is really precise. We can make it like this, and then E to extrude, and inside, so we exit this, S, Shift Z, we go inside like this. So now we have this, and we need to make a little gap like this also here. So we get this edge, Alt click to get all around, and then Control B to make a bevel, Shift to make it really small like this, and then E, exit, and S to scale, and Shift Z like this inside. Also we can save, Command S, gumball, I already have one, so I'm gonna put gumball 1, gumball 2, save. Now that we have this, it looks good. We have this part. Also, this part, we can make it a little smaller. You see the little gap, and this part in metal is a little bit inside. So what we can do, we go on the side, numpad 1, on X-ray, and on also face select, just to select the faces here. and we can make it a little bit smaller. S, Shift Z, and Shift to make it just little bit like this. Like this. And we can save. Command S. Now we need to do this part here, where we take our gums, we put the coin and everything. So we are going to add a cube to make this. But first, you see, this part is round here, and here you can see it is flat here. So we're gonna see if it looks good when we put the cube. So we go on Tab Object Mode and Shift A, Cube, S to scale it, and then we can go numpad 1 to see where it is. We can scale it a bit more like this. S, I think like this is good, and then S on Z, scale on Z like this, and we need to put the bottom here where we have this part that we extruded. So this part, GZ, you can put it inside like this, and then GY like this. And you see this part of the cylinder, we need to make it flat so we can see the cube here. We need to put the cube like this, so we need all of these to be flat. So we select the cylinder, Tab, we are going to select the faces we want to put flat, this one, Shift, this one, this one, this one, and then to make it flat we need to scale on Y. When we do S, we scale it, and then we type Y, and you see this scaling on this axis. So we can put it flat like this and then extrude inside. So to make it flat, we just type 0. So all of the edges, all of the faces are at 0, and then enter. We enter, and then we can move GY to put it inside like this, for example, and this part, it is flat, little flat like this. So I think it looks good. And then our cube, we go on Tab Object Mode, we click on our cube, numpad 1, we can make it a little wider, SX, and we can press Shift like this. We can make it well, like this. And also GY, can make it the point here. We can put it where the edge is, so GY like here. So now it looks like this, and I think the flat part, we can make it, we can move it. So we can select the cube, we can press H to hide it, and then click on this, Tab, we select Shift, click all of this, we can move it G, Y, like this. We can put the cube back, so we do Alt H, and then it is here. I think it is pretty good like this. And also you see these edges on the cylinder, on the picture they are straight like this, so we can put them straight. So we need to S X. If we do SX, it moves like this, so we can put 0, so it is straight. We can get this click SX 0 like this, so it is straight like this. And we can put them back because like this it's a little weird. Shift click to select both, G Y to move them a little bit like this. And also this one we can put it a little back here, because you see this angle like this part is inside and this part is outside like this. So we can select both, shift click, and then rotate our X like this, RX like this. I don't know if it looks good. It is pretty good to me. And then our cube, can put it a little back like this, and also SZ shift, make it like this, and we can save. So now we have this, and we can make this part with another cube, or just we can get this face, create a new face, and then extrude. So we are going to get this cube, tab edit mode, face select, get this face, and then we can insert a new faces. To create a new face like this, we can put it here, SZ to scale it on Z like this, and then GZ to move it up like this. I think like this is good. We can select this face, and then we can extrude E a little bit like this. So now we have this part. And then there is also this part. We can put a new face inside like this, like I think, yes, like this. And then the little corner, there are beveled a little bit. You see, it's not just a square like this. So we can select these points, shift click, and then shift control B, and then you see it's doing like this. But first, before doing this, we can check the scale. You see the scale of this cube, 0.4, 0.4, 0.6. So the bevel are not really proportional, because the scale is not 1. So we need to put the scale at 1. We click on the cube, object, apply, scale. And then we can go back on edit mode and do shift control B. And you see now it is better. We can put it like this, and then we can extrude this face. We get the face select. Here we select this face. We can extrude like this, and then you see there is another face that is smaller, and there is a little angle here. So we can just do S, make it a little smaller like this, a little more, S, G, Y to make it a bit flatter like this. We save, Command S, and now it looks like this. Now what we need to do is this little thing. Then you can turn. To do this, we are not going to modify this because this part is done. So we need to add another element, another mesh to create this part. To make this, we can take a cube and then put the edges here smaller, so it creates this. Shift A, mesh, cube. Now we can S scale. You can put it numpad 1 to see what's happening. And then GZ to move it here. And S. So it's gonna be like this, and then SZ like this, S X like this. And now we can put it here on top, so we can do GY like this. And we need to make it smaller, SY like this. So there is a little space between it, like between this and this. And then have another element here that is connecting them, so we can turn the machine. So we can take this. First we need to apply the scale. You see the scale when we are going to do the bevels is not going to be right, so we apply the scale, we click on this object, apply scale, we can save numpad 1, and then we can create loop cuts here, because there is this part, we're gonna move this part, we can scale, this part is gonna be the same height, and then this part is gonna be smaller. So there is this part here, and this part. So we need 3 parts. So Control R to create loop cuts, and then we can scroll up to make 2. So now there is 3 parts. Click exit. We can go on vertex select, on X-ray to get the vertex on the other side too. Numpad 1, we click this, shift, we select this, and these we are going to scale. Scale on Z, because we don't want to scale like this. SZ like this. This part we can scale to, so it looks like this, this, SZ, so it is small like this. And then it is really beveled because it is really round. So we need to add a bevel modifier because we want to bevel all of it. So we can add a bevel modifier to see what it's doing. We go on solid, and then we can go in the modifiers here, add modifier, and bevel. So now it is really round. We can put the amount less, put like this, segment more, like this. I don't know if it looks good because it is beveling on top here, and also there is another face that goes inside. So first we can disable this bevel here on the little screen. We need to bevel these edges. So we go on edge select, and you see this part are round. So we need to round them. First, what we need to do, select all the edges that we want to round. Shift click the edges to select everything here, here. And then Control B. Control B. And then we put them like this, but this part we don't want to have this because we are going to put a new faces, to insert faces, to get this face here to extrude inside. Undo, we are going to deselect this, and then we can put a bevel modifier. So Ctrl B to only these. So it is really round like this. And then we can insert a new face. So we go on edit mode and then faces select. We get these faces, shift click. We can do I and then put a new face here. And then we can extrude inside. E like this. Now it looks like this. And also you see here on the little handle there is little marks. We need to make this. To make this, we are going to create loop cuts here, and then we can extrude up to create this little grip on the handle. So Ctrl R here, we can put, so there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to make 5. Ctrl R here, and you see also at the bottom here where there is select, rotate view, call menu, you can see the number of cuts. Ctrl R here, and then here number of cuts 5. Click and then exit. And now we can get these, shift click on all. We can bevel to create 2 parts, so we can extrude. Ctrl B, and then we scroll down to only have a part like this, and then we can select the faces. We go on face select, we select shift, click the faces, and then E to extrude up like this to make a little grip. And then we need to put it on the other side, so we can do a symmetry like this. Edit mode, A to select everything. So we want the symmetry to this part, so we can see it is -x to x. So we can select everything, and then on mesh we have symmetrize, and then on the little window here -x to +x, so it is good. Now we have this, we can do A to select everything, and now put the symmetry at the bottom here, because we don't have the grip on the bottom. So we select everything with A, and then we can symmetrize again. Symmetrize, and then Z from -z. From Z to -z. Here. Plus Z to -z. So now we have this. So it looks good. We can do right click, shade, auto smooth, and also we can put a little bevel to see if it looks good. Add modifiers, and then bevel. And there is a little bevel. I don't know if it looks good. Here we can put a little one like this. This we can make it a little smaller, SY, like this, and put it back here, GY, like this. And then also we need to make another element that goes inside. So to do this, we can just get the faces here on the other side, and then just extrude inside. We can go on X-ray, get this. We can insert a face like this, and then E to extrude inside like this. We remove the X-ray, Command S to save. So now it looks like this. And also this part here it is a little closer, so we are going to leave like this. We can alt click, alt shift click. If we do Z, X, I'm gonna put it a little closer, but then the grip is not gonna be really at the center, so we can leave like this. Command S. So now this part is done, and now we need to do the part here. So to do this, we can just put a cube and just do this part. Or we can insert a face. I'm gonna put a cube, Shift A, cube, S, numpad 1, GZ. So it's gonna be approximately the same size as this like this. So like this, S, GZ, well, we could put it here, and then GY, like this. We can make a loop cut here, so we can make a little gap to put the little door thing here. Edit mode, tab, and then we can make a loop cut. Control R on this side, click, and then we can drag it here. We can Control B, make a bevel here, click, and then extrude inside. E, and then exit. S here, but we don't want to scale on the Y axis. S, Shift Y, only like this, like this, and then this we can make it a little thinner, so we can get this face on face select, GY, like this. We can save, and we can also put a cylinder, because you see this part is round here. So I'm just going to put a cylinder to do this effect, and it is really easy to do this. Mesh, Shift A, mesh, cylinder, S, and then we can rotate to put it on this side, so R, Y, 90, enter, numpad 1, S, and then S, X, put it like this, G, Z, S, X, to put it approximately like this, and then G, Y, you can put it like this, and we can select this, shift this, GY, put it more like this, and then the cylinder, right click, shade auto smooth. So now there is just a little thing like this, and we can put it bigger but not on X. So S, Shift X, like this, to put it GY, little like this. N, GZ, like this. And now it is easier than modeling exactly this, like this. We can also bevel this part. So edge select, we select this, Control B, scroll up to put it like this. I'm gonna see if it is good. We can hide this H, and then we can go on minus Z, minus X, tab, X-ray, we can get this, GY, GY, like this, and do this face where the texture is not the same. To do this, edit mode, face select, we select this face, and we insert a new face. Not EI, like this, and we can extrude it a little bit inside like this. And also this part we can make it bigger, you see here. So we go on face select, we select this and GZ, just make it like this, and also we can bevel this, Control B, just a little bit like this, Command S to save. What we can do is select, go on numpad 3 to go on the side, tab, X-ray, then select this part, and R to rotate, to do like an effect like it is a little open, GY, R, and then we can check if it touches here, R, G, Z, R, like this. Control S, Command S to save, tab, and we remove the X-ray. So now I think it is pretty good. And also we need to delete the cylinder that we put, it was not really good. So Alt H to make reappear, to put back the cylinder. And we can, well, X delete, we can delete. And then this, I don't know if we put auto smooth, shade auto smooth, right click, shade auto smooth. We can save this part, we can right click, shade auto smooth too. And then we can put a bevel modifier because we didn't put any bevel. And you see here it is really beveled here, really round. So we're gonna put a bevel modifier here, modifier bevel, put the amount like this, segments put more, and bevel the parts that are really round, so here and here. Tab to go in edit mode, edge select, we select this all around, so alt click and shift alt click here. These are really round, so we can bevel them manually like this. Control B, put it very round, I think like this, and it is not touching this part, so it looks like this. And also this part is round and this part too, so edit mode, alt click this part and also alt click this part. First we're going to do this part because the bevel is going to be bigger here, so Control B, you can put less segments like this, like this, and then these alt click, shift alt click, then do a little bevel here, Control B, like this. So it looks good now. And then the base here we can also bevel, shift click, alt click, Control B. You can put more segments to bevel like this, tab and Command S to save. And now it looks pretty good. And also here you can see the shading. It's a little weird. We can check with putting this matte cap, change it to, for example, this one. Well, not this one. This one I prefer. We can check here the shading. You see there is a little problem. So we can put harden normals here on the bevel, on the shading, harden normals. And now it is all gone and it looks very good. We can put back the lighting studio. Here, this one, we can save. And now on the next part, we are going to create this sphere, the top, and do the physics to put all of these gums inside.